Okay, welcome back, you guys. We are finishing off part two of our birth story. So the last episode we talked about Zuri's birth story, and this episode we're going to talk about Nova's birth story. Nova is 15 months older.
Will is 15 months older than Nova.
Zuri is 15 months older than Nova.
Yeah.
So 5 months postpartum, we find out that I'm pregnant again. You guys, it was a pregnancy is always a blessing.
It is.
And I'm so thankful that I'm able to carry children
Yeah, for sure.
because not everyone can. But there's a but. We didn't know it was gonna happen that fast, and I was terrified.
Well, the funny thing is, so we always talked about having our kids 18 months to 2 years apart. And so we kind of hit that mark. But at the same time, that was before we had kids and we talked about that.
Yeah.
So I think living it real life and we got the news, it was like, oh man, like, because we were just getting in a routine. Z was just at the point where like, she's kind of thriving, learning, can do some stuff independently. And so then we're like, okay, wow, we have to figure it out. And you think 9 months is a long time, to plan and prep, but it really
No, it went
isn't.
by so quick,
It
especially the
flies.
second pregnancy. It just flew by.
Yeah, it did because I think the first time you can fully prep and think about, okay, what are we gonna do for the baby? The second time through, you're taking care of a child while you're doing it. So like Rebecca was very adamant. We didn't talk about this in the last episode, but Rebecca was very adamant about staying in shape and working out, and she had the time and ability to do that. But the second time around, we're both watching Z. There wasn't as much time because you have to give that attention to the baby
Yeah.
for either of us. So that was another, I think, pretty significant nuance that made the second birth, Nova's birth,
Yeah.
a little
You
challenging.
remember when we found out? I couldn't. I went and checked. I didn't really tell Mo because I was feeling weird, but I was like, maybe it's postpartum. Maybe I'm getting my period back. Like I don't know what's happening. So I just was like, I have a pregnancy test here. Let me just check. So I checked without even like telling Mo like that I was really like worried or feeling anything. And I remember checking and you guys, it was positive. Like you know how it takes like 3 minutes or so to it takes 3 minutes or so to give you an answer. I swear, like in 20 seconds it was positive. And I'm like, there's no way. Like there's no way. So I took another one, positive again, super quick. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I was not even 5 months postpartum with Zuri. So as you can imagine, I'm like still figuring things out. Like my body is finally getting back to like what it was pre-pregnancy and pre-birth. And I just didn't feel physically ready to to carry another child. But I remember freaking out. I was like, Mo, oh my God. I like remember going up to him in the kitchen. I'm like, guess what? He's like, what? I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, no. But then I'm like, I was so worried and like on the verge of crying and all that stuff.
I think you did cry. I
I did?
think so.
Oh, maybe. Well, I'm 5 months postpartum, you guys. Like the hormones are still all over the place. Now I'm pregnant. Like it was just insane. And so I have to say this, Mo is he has a very positive outlook and a very calming spirit. So he always like centers me and grounds me and whenever I'm feeling anxious or stressed about anything. So he was like, it's okay, isn't this what we wanted? Blah blah blah. All this stuff. But yeah, anyways, let's get into her birth
Yeah,
because
so
that
nine
was
mo-
interesting.
9 months flies. We end up going back with Dr. Rebecca again because we had a great experience. So that was all great. Checkups went well. Nova's thriving. And so the thing now is, planning and prepping for the day of the birth, is who's gonna watch Z,
Yeah.
right? So we're like, man, do we try and get Rebecca's mom to fly down? But you don't know exactly when the baby's gonna happen. My mom is about 4.5, 5 hours away. So we're planning all these things, all these contingency plans, and none of that actually ended up mattering. So we went through the same process. Rebecca didn't get dilated, or she didn't get checked how far dilated she was. We really didn't know when,
No, I did get checked.
but it was like last minute. I'm saying throughout the process, you didn't
So
really get
I
checked.
I was pregnant until 40 over 40 weeks. So at the 40-week appointment, Dr. Rebecca was like, okay, I know you didn't want to get checked last time, but you were 38 weeks. Now you're 40 weeks. And I think we might want to check just to kind of see, are you going to be, giving birth soon? Are you going to be pregnant until you're 42 weeks? Just to kind of give us an idea.
Yeah, because you can't go too far
Right.
past
So,
that.
and she was
So
really nice and really on board with like letting me go until at least 42 weeks. So at 40 weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling awful. I'm so big, you guys.
she was ready to have the baby.
I felt her so low for weeks. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work. I couldn't pick up Zuri. Like it was just like so miserable at that point. So I told her, yeah, let's just check. So she checks, and I'm 4.5 centimeters dilated. But funny enough, no symptoms, no contractions, no Braxton Hicks, no early signs of labor, no nothing. So I was like, that is so weird. Like, so she's like, at this point, like you could, tomorrow you could have the baby, or it could take weeks still. So, anyways, I go home, I tell Mo, and she was kind of like, because you had such a quick birth with Zuri, this birth is going to be even quicker. So prepare yourself. And as soon as you start feeling contractions, rush to the hospital
Yeah.
because you labor quick and you give birth really quick. So, oh my gosh, I was 40 weeks and 5 days. So after that appointment, still 5 days go by and still nothing. The fifth night, so when I was 40 weeks, almost 46, 40, oh my gosh, 40 weeks and 6 days. That night, 11:30, Mo had fallen asleep. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go take a shower. At this point, you're like, you never know what's going to happen. So let me get my hair ready. Let me get our bags ready. Let me just be clean, like, take a shower. So every night I would go through the same routine where I was like cleaning myself and all that stuff, just because you just never know. So that night, I started feeling something. And I remember all I could hear is Dr. Becca's voice, like, as soon as you feel something, just rush to the hospital. So I woke Mo up and it was 11:30, almost 12. We get in the car. I had Nova at 1:13 a.m., you guys. So
So
she was so right.
yeah, what, just to add to the drama, right? Because it was very dramatic. This birth, I think, versus Zuri's. So Rebecca wakes me up. It's late. I'm like, okay, let's get our stuff together. Z's still sleeping, but Rebecca's starting to get into a lot of pain at this point.
Yeah.
So she's in a lot of pain. I'm trying to rush to get the bags and Zuri in the car. Beck's screaming, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, because we know the baby's gonna come quick at this point.
Wait, let me just add, when we were driving in the car and the GPS said we had 14 minutes to get to the hospital, I remember thinking, I'm not going to make it. The baby's coming out. Like I could
And
feel,
that was halfway because it's like 20 something minutes away from
right.
us. Yeah.
And all I kept seeing is 14 minutes on the GPS. And I could feel you guys like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have this baby in the car. Like I just kept all these scenarios kept like coming in my head. Anyways, my eyes are closed. I'm breathing the whole time. It felt like a half an hour drive, which was it wasn't even that. It was 18-minute drive or something like that. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, 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 you're fine. Yeah. So so we're to her point in the car. I put the emergency lights on and we're just flying down the street. Super late at night. It's the cops pull us over. They're gonna meet us at the hospital type of scenario. And we get there. Rebecca has to walk herself in because I have Zuri and all the bags. So I parked the car this time. She walks herself in like a soldier. And yeah, we jump right into it. So again, the plan that we had about somebody coming to watch Z didn't work out. Zuri's in the delivery room with us.
Yeah.
We have the iPad. Miss Rachel's blaring in the back, watching Zuri. I'm back and forth while Beck is going through contractions and getting ready for birth. She's doing it not medicated again, so she's feeling everything. And it was just like a lot happening with the trying to find she's okay, check on her, support her as much as possible, make sure Z's all right. Z's watching the show, trying to keep her occupied. And this time Dr. Rogers is actually or Dr. Rebecca is actually out and another OB has to deliver the baby. But she was great. The process went really smoothly. Um, and yeah, that was Nova's kind of jeez Louise. Nova's Nova's origin story. So if anything for these two videos, you see 202 is real. All right. If you know some family struggling with two children or two, your donation today can save a life. I hope you heard all that. I don't know
Oh
what the
my
audio is
God.
gonna sound like on this, but this is our life on film, raw, uncut. So we're just gonna knock over equipment we can't afford. So we're starting to GoFundMe for stuff that babies damage. If you want to, I can go all day. I don't know how much longer we want this podcast to go, but send help is essentially what this episode's about. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We're gonna get this cleaner. We're hopefully gonna find childcare. And thank you for joining us. Beck get this thing where she gets the giggles and she's not gonna be able to communicate like a full-grown adult for the next 25 to 35 minutes. So thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next episode. Ciao.
Does Zuri like to color?
Where's her book? Zuri, get your book, Mama. Get your book. Get your book over there. Look. Mom, look at her.
She was trying to get up out of it too. She said, come on now.
Nova, are you serious, Mama?
Look at her.